Alrighty guys, we are back at Largent Bend Fishing Access Site. It's pond number 2. We stream from here quite often because it's right down the road from where I live. But we're going to do a little bit of bass fishing, carp, sucker. We'll see what we can catch tonight. So we have one pole out in the water already. That's our carp setup. We have bread balls on that one. We're going to set out just for a little while here. A bottom rig with worm on it. See what we can catch. We'll switch to throwing lures here in a little bit, see if we can pull in a bass. We're just getting this second pole baited up here off cam. It's a little bit windy here tonight. Weather, temperature's really comfortable. Mid-70s, slightly overcast. Honestly, it looks like it might rain. Hopefully not. Welcome. We're just getting set up here. Alrighty. We are set up. We have carp pole in the water over here with bread balls on it. Bread dough dipped in strawberry jello. And then this pole we have just set up as a bottom rig with worms. One hook's got a little corky on it, so it floats it up off the bottom. The other one is on the bottom. So we're targeting multiple different species here with this line. Maybe sucker, maybe perch, maybe trout, maybe bass. There's a variety of different things that might bite on this one. How's everybody's night going? Appreciate the thumbs up there. Thank you. Oh, really nice night out. Kane Racing says, what state is that? We are in Montana. This is central Montana. Just outside of Vaughn, Montana and Cascade County. Where are you from, Kane? That wind is getting a little gnarly here. Looks like a storm might be rolling through. I hope not. I honestly didn't check the forecast before I came out. There's fish feeding all over the place though. Apologize for the swaying of the camera there. That's just the wind. Hopefully you're not hearing it too bad. I do have my external mic on tonight, which should get rid of some of the wind noise. Oh, that wind does feel nice though. Ooh, looks like we might have a bit of a storm here today. Hey Xander, how you doing today? Welcome to the live. We might get blown out here. The weather seems to have taken a turn for the worse right as I got set up here. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad though. It's just a little windy and gray right now. Appreciate the thumbs up, y'all. Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? Where's everybody from? We just got set up. We've been here for, I don't know, 15 minutes. We got 2 poles in the water, one targeting carp, and the other one is a bottom rig. And we might get multiple different species off of that. Ignore the bell on that pole, is the wind. Apologize for the audio, you guys. It's a wee bit windy here today. Hoping that calms down here in a little bit. How's everybody's night going? Welcome those joining. Hey Andrew. Oh, same setup as last night on this pole. We got bread balls dipped in strawberry jello. On this guy, actually I do have a worm on one hook and a leech on the other. We're gonna switch over to throwing some baits here or some lures in a little bit. We just got set up. The wind really started to pick up. I pulled up here, I got the camera set up, and one pole and the sky turned dark gray and the wind started. So I don't know if we're gonna get rained out here or not. Hopefully not. I do have some salmon eggs in the truck that I was gonna throw on here in a little bit and try those as well. Yeah, it grayed up a bit. I don't know. Kinda smells like rain. We'll see if it blows over. It's not bad right now. It feels really nice, actually. We might just be having a bit of a calm before the storm here, though. Usually a good time to fish, though. As a weather pattern's moving in, from what I understand, it causes a sharp change in the barometric pressure, which usually triggers fish to feed. So, if it stays like this for the rest of the evening, we may have a good night. It was windy as hell here. All I threw was a spinner. Yeah, the wind can make it tough. You got to have, a fairly heavy lure to throw out there. Otherwise, it just tosses you around, carries your lure all over the place, twists your line all up. So we'll see if the wind improves a little bit. I'll probably start throwing a selection of lures here, see if we can get the bass to come out and play. If the wind keeps up, though, I may just continue bottom fishing. Looks like we got one other person here fishing at the moment. Usually this place is packed. Maybe they checked the weather and I didn't. Do you have any luck throwing your spinner? There's another carp pulling up. I have really mixed luck when I throw spinners. They're a good all-around lure to throw. You can get almost anything off a spinner, but there tend to be better baits, better lures, if you're targeting, a, a specific species. I do have a ton of them in my tackle box, so I take them out quite often. A little pike. Oh yeah. That's what I want to be doing right now, pike fishing. Unfortunately, the local river right behind here and that runs down and connects into the Missouri, they implemented what are called hoot owl restrictions here yesterday for the foreseeable future. So when we have a water temperature of 73 degrees or higher for 3 consecutive days in a row, or the water volume is below a certain CFM, they basically close fishing on the river from 2 p.m. to midnight. It's to protect the fish. When you get hot water, you know, really warm water and low flow, the fish can oftentimes go into shock when they're being caught, and they don't release well. So you end up killing a bunch of fish unintentionally. So my local pike spot that I like to go to is closed right now. I may go this weekend though up to Pishkin Reservoir to try and get on some pike. Haven't caught anything big this year. I think the biggest I caught this year was about 6 pounds. And I want to get another 20 pounder. I'd be happy with a 10 pounder at this point. I was targeting bass. I had no leader on. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's a lucky catch then. I've caught pike with, you know, unintentionally without a leader on, but more often than not, if I get one on the line and I'm running braid, they cut right through it. Always a fun, unexpected catch. No bass though, huh? Nah, they're finicky. Yeah, they usually are at this pond. If you can catch the itty bitty ones fairly easily, just throwing a bobber out, you know, with 6 to 12 inches of leader and a worm on the end of it, and you just kind of drag it across the surface. You'll catch quite a few of the little ones, but the bigger ones that are in this pond, it gets so much pressure. They're hard to get to bite. Oh, this wind. It needs to stop. That's all right though, at least you can get skunked. Oh, the turtles are sure out tonight. They're just patrolling back and forth along the bank here. Bunch of itty bitty fish feeding too. Probably little bass, possibly bluegill. What else do we have? We have the little pumpkinseed in here as well. Yeah, usually the Senko is my skunk breaker. Today they weren't touching it. Ah, that's frustrating. Nope. There's a nibble. Something found my pole, my bait. Man, I don't know, them skies are just looking dark all the way over to the horizon. We might be getting rained on here. Surprisingly warm breeze though. It's still mid-70s here. It's not even remotely cold. Damn, that was a good bite. Get him. Nope. Hey kitty, welcome to the stream. It's so hot in California. Oh. Yeah, it's like low to mid 70s here right now with a nice breeze. A little bit more than a breeze, I guess, gusty. But still feels wonderful. Well, we just missed our first solid bite. That one felt nice. Where at in Cali are you? I just actually moved back from California a few years ago. I was in SoCal, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa area. It never really got super hot there. You must be inland, I would assume. Honestly, I love the weather when it's like this. Little bit windier than I prefer, but I love, you know, it's warm out, overcast, the sun's not beating down. This wind is a bit much, though. Oh God, I'll have to pan the camera over there. There's a huge crane that just landed in the pond. If he comes a little closer, I'll pan the camera over there. Apple Valley. It is hot. You have beautiful weather there. Apple Valley. Okay. Yeah, you're a bit more inland. Yeah, that's kind of desert there. A little too hot for my liking. And it is this time of the year though. The weather is usually very, very nice here. As long as you don't mind a little wind. Or past it being, you know, freezing at night and then hot during the day. It's just kind of moderate now. A little bit hot during the day. But we'll pull this rod in a minute. That was a pretty good strike. I have a good feeling they stole my worm. Or leech, whichever one they hit on. That was a nibble. It felt small. We might have got a little perch or something though. Or nothing. No, we just have a little itty bitty leftover worm. They stole the worm. All right, let's get another worm on here and get the bull back out. All right, so we're running high-low rig again here today. You'll see me fish this a lot. It's a steel leader, about 28, 30 inches. It's got two T's, metal standoffs on it that you put a leader and your hook on. The top hook, I'm running a corky, which just floats the bait up off the bottom. Bottom hook, I'm just running straight worm, no corky, so it lays on the bottom. And we got a 1/2 ounce sinker here. So it allows me to target multiple different species. Josiah the Goat. Yo, what have you caught so far? Welcome, Josiah the Goat. We've been fishing for about a 1/2 hour. I just had the first couple solid bites. They stole my bait. We didn't get it landed. So we're gonna toss it back out now. I just rebaited and we're gonna see if we can get something on the line. Trying to get a little fishing in before this storm comes through. The fish are definitely active right now though. I see a lot of topwater activity, and again, we've had 2 solid bites so far in the 30 minutes. So hopefully we can get something on the line here. We had decent luck fishing here last night. We caught a couple of perch, a couple of white sucker, no bass, no carp. Oh, the wind. Sorry for the noise, guys. What are you wanting to catch? This pole is set up with bread balls. I'm hoping to catch a carp on that one. The pole that I'm holding in my hand is baited up for multiple different species. We might catch perch, we might catch trout, we might catch suckers, we might catch largemouth bass. There's a variety of different things in here that will hit off the rig the way that I have it set up. Matthew Spolarich. Hey Matthew, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? I don't know how long we're gonna get to stream here tonight. It was nice and calm and a beautiful sky when I pulled up here. I got the one pole in the water and the skies just turned dark. The wind picked up. It's starting to smell like rain. Oh, it's dark already over there in Florida. I'm in Montana here, so we're in Mountain Standard Time. It's 7:36. We have probably 2.5 hours still before it gets dark here. If it doesn't start raining. I'm all right if it sprinkles, but if it starts pouring on me, we're gonna pack her up. Matthew, you're in North Carolina, 9:36. All right. Yeah, you should still have a little bit more daylight there, eh? Oh, there's another nibble. Come on, take it. Something found our worms. Appreciate the thumbs up there, y'all. It helps out the channel. Thank you. Don't mind the bell there swaying in the wind. That is just the wind. If we get a good hit on it, you'll see the pole. Carp hit pretty good. That pole bent significantly down. Another bite. Did we get it? We might have. Might just be another one of those little perch. Yeah, maybe not. Felt like I had a hook set there, but no, we missed it again. Did they get the worm? Of course they did. Yeah. Lost our worm again. Let's go grab another one. They're definitely active here tonight. That's, yeah, third solid bite, fourth actually, because we just had a hit right before that as well. We'll get them on the next one. All right, we're baited back up. Let's get her back in the water. They're just teasing us so far. Matthew says, no, it's pitch dark. I can't even see in my room. Oh, jeez. We should try a spinnerbait or a topwater frog. Here in a little bit, if this wind dies down, I am going to start throwing some lures. We're having 20 plus mile an hour gusts here, and it gets a little sketch trying to throw lures when it's this windy. Josiah says if you want to catch some bass. Yeah, they do. In fact, probably in about a half an hour, we start getting a ton of topwater activity here, and I usually will break out either a spinner or a whopper plopper, or sometimes a chatterbait, buzzbait, something that's got a little topwater action. Oh, we're getting nibbled again. Let's see if we can get her on the line this time. Yeah, even put a jig head in, those trout will bite. There's supposedly, I've never caught a trout out of here. They stock it every year, every other year with rainbows and browns. I've never managed to pull one out of here. The rig that I have right now with the little corky is, I use it often for rainbow trout, and it works really well. But last night all I was catching off it was perch and sucker. Oop. Something's playing with it. Last night it wasn't that windy. Yeah, it's way windier here tonight. Anonymous, hello. Welcome to the live. Yeah, if this wind dies down a little bit, I'll definitely try throwing some stuff to target bass. There's some good sized ones in here. Biggest I've ever caught is 2-3 pounds, but I've seen some 5+ pounders pulled out of here. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Nope. I think it's them dang perch again. We got these itty bitty little perch in here that hit like a bluegill. They just nibble. Yeah, there's the other side of the lake is, it's much more shallow and weedy. You can kind of see over there. There's a line of, oh, what are they called? Oh hell, I forget what the hell they're called. They're like the big brown things that if you smack them on something, they fluff out into like a billion seeds. But there's a whole line of them there over there, and there's a whole bunch of thistle. It's way more of a pain in the butt to fish, but there are definitely good bass over on the other side of the pond. I've caught them over here as well. Normally in the far left-hand corner over here is where I bass fish, or over that's super shallow and weedy over in the corner here, and you can pull them out. But yeah, he was fishing with a topwater frog. I'm still getting nibbles here. Did I get him? We might have snagged him. Nope. Dang it. Tangled us, that's about it. Our hook caught the other hook. Fancy. Yeah, that guy that was catching them here last night, he just runs circles around the whole pond. He fishes every little nook and cranny. It's a little hard to do that setup streaming unless I'm streaming from my body cam. Oh, this wind is rough. Josiah the Goat says, oh, what's the biggest bass you've caught? Here out of this pond, it was like 2.5 pounds. Largemouth. Out of the Missouri River, I've caught some 2-3 pounder, almost 3 pound smallmouth. Very good size. Matthew says, LG, Eli's Custom Spinnerbaits. Hello, yesterday I went fishing and guess what? I got a follow from a muskie with a topwater frog. That's cool, Eli. Tiger muskie is on my bucket list. The closest I've been to catching one is I had one on my line at the side of the boat and he was able to break off or, spit the hook while I was trying to net him. It wasn't a monster, it was probably 28, 30 inches, but are you using a Sapiki rig? I've heard of a Sapiki rig. I don't know if what I'm fishing is called a it's essentially it's a high-low rig. So it's a steel leader that's got 2 standoffs, 2 steel arms that stick off of it, and then you put a 6-inch to an 18-inch leader on the end of it and your hook. And on one of the hooks I'm running a little corky, which is just a little floater ball, and it floats your bait up off the bottom. So you got 2 arms that each are baited, and then your third at the bottom you run a sinker. We just call them a high-low rig here, Sabiki. Okay. Somebody the other night that was in here was saying that what I fish is called a Kentucky rig, or a variant of a Kentucky rig. I have no idea what that is. I've just always called it a high-low rig, and I rig it up in numerous different ways depending on what species I'm fishing for. They're probably from Kentucky. They might have been. But yeah, if you've ever heard of a crappie rig, it's basically the same thing as a crappie rig, but instead of mono or fluoro for the whole rig, it's a steel leader. I fish with pretty heavy braid on my main line, and then I oftentimes will use a steel leader, and then I run fluorocarbon from the standoffs on it. Okay, so Eli's heard of the Kentucky rig. Yeah, that's what he called it. We call it a high-low rig here in Montana. It started out, I used it as mainly, my catfish rig when I went fishing for channel cats. And then I started doing a lot of carp fishing, and it translated really well to carp fishing. So I usually have at least one of them on my line, and then from there I've started tweaking it, adding like the little corky or different lengths of leaders. Sometimes I'll even, instead of a sinker on the end of it, I'll throw a bobber so it turns into like an upside down floating rig. So it's quite a versatile setup. Where's everyone else? All your fans should be here, man. Right now, there's another streamer on, Skipjack Cindy. She's out trout fishing right now, I think. And a lot of the people that come into my live also frequent her live, and I think a lot of them are hanging out there. That's all good though. Man, we're not doing Lamar Jackson edits. Every stream I do, it seems like somebody comes in here asking that. Yeah, Skipjack Cindy, she's cool people. Her and Travis, and then they have a few guests that come on their stream. And I don't know if you guys can hear this wind, but dear Lord, we're having like 25, 30 mile an hour gusts. It's still super warm though. But this stuff just makes it really tough to throw lures. You end up with so many wind knots and your line gets so twisted. But I'm gonna set my pole down here for a second and go grab a soda out of my tackle bag. Sorry for the wind, guys. Closing up my tackle bag stuff. This wind is trying to take it away. Oh, wow. Alright, we're gonna have to wait on the soda. It's just gonna get full of dirt. This wind needs to take a rest here. It's rough. Can't tell if that's wind or if I have a bite. Y'all aren't double fisting rods, you ain't doing it right. JK, JK. I think I'm gonna adjust the angle on this pole holder though. If I can get it a little closer to the ground, maybe the wind won't attack it so much. Maybe. Yeah, maybe if you hang out in the live more often. I don't think we really need a mod right now. I tend not to kick people from the live. Unless they're being super aggressive towards other people. Man, I gotta check the weather report here and see if this wind is gonna die down or just keep getting worse. Nice. The weather's supposed to get nice and calm around 10 p.m. right when the sun goes down. I saw one of your shorts, you've caught rainbow trout before. Oh yeah, I've caught hundreds of rainbow trout. Not out of this particular water body though. I just know that Fish, Wildlife and Park has said that they put them in here, and I've never managed to get one out of this water body. Yeah, those that was a recent trip I made. I think the video that you watched was probably the Willow Creek videos. And I've never fished that water body before. I was just fishing from the dock there. And it had some of the hardest fighting trout I have ever caught in my life. Good sized ones too. Yeah, that was Willow Creek. There was an older dude that was there at the boat dock leaving as I was setting up. He was saying that they stock there with kamloop trout, which from what I understand are just a variant of the rainbow trout. But they're known for their fighting and acrobatics. They jump out of the water. And I think he might be right. Those were definitely not the average rainbow trout I catch. Most of them don't fight all that hard. But every one that I caught that day, you know, from the 18-inch to the 23-inch that I was catching were excellent fighters. We had a couple of them jumping out of the water and doing acrobatics. I haven't posted those videos yet though. I'm working on it. Spend too much time fishing. It's hard to get the videos edited and posted in between. Yeah, there's a bell on that one. It's swaying in the wind. Oh. Damn it. Get it. Oh, they're taunting me. But yeah, one of these days, if we get a day that it's not super windy, I think I might take my boat back to Willow Creek Reservoir and see. I know that there's some 5-6 plus pounders in there, and if I can catch a 4.5 pounder, you know, 23-inch sitting on the dock, I think I can probably pull some monsters out of there trolling. Sunday, I think we're forecasted to not have such a windy day. I think we're supposed to have just moderate wind on Sunday. So hopefully I can get the boat in the water. Eli says, you should give me your boat. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, I bet. Boats are an expensive frickin' hobby. I mean, I'm sure y'all have heard the boat is an acronym. It stands for bust out another 1,000. You know, that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, you know, joke people make about boats. But the reality of it is it's not a joke. Something breaks on there, it is. You know, it's a grand to get it fixed. Spent thousands in the electronics on it, thousands in wiring, you know, accessories for it. My boat trailer's busted once this season, once last season. They're expensive to play with, but definitely I so much prefer fishing from my boat than I do the shore. Shore fishing is not bad. I mean, I grew up shore fishing. I've only had a boat for the past 3 years, but I have definitely enjoyed it. I like going out. Trolling is something that I've been looking out and getting better at. And I've had some really good luck in a couple of water bodies. One I've got down packed for trolling for trout and salmon, and another one I do really, really good on pike trolling there. Sunday you have a baseball game. Right on. It's one sport I never really played. I watched it a lot when I was younger. Used to love to watch baseball. Never got into playing it though. But unfortunately, the places that most of the places I put my boat in at are quite rural, quite remote, so I don't get to stream from them. But I do usually take video and try and post some content afterwards. Oh, this wind is rough. Hope that's not too noisy for you guys. I do have my external mic hooked up today with the wind filter on it. But I don't think any amount of wind filter is going to get rid of all the wind noise when you got 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Alright, we're going to pull this pole out in a minute and check the bait. I've had a couple of solid hits on it, and I'm assuming they've taken at least one of my worms. But Eli, as for the boat, save up, man. Get yourself a boat. You don't have to get a super expensive one. I mean, mine's an older, beat up aluminum John boat. I spent, probably $3,500 on the boat and trailer. I mean, I've put thousands into it since then, upgrading it, getting electronics, rewiring stuff, fixing the motor, fixing the trailer. But they're not super expensive. You could spend, 50, 100 grand plus on one. But for a first boat, go buy somebody's used boat, man. Get the hang of it. See if you really enjoy it. Learn how to operate a trailer. Give it a few bumps and bruises before you go spend a big chunk of money on a nice new one.